Errol, I think one of the things very quickly in these slides is this. You and I are just talking, folks. We're just making it up as we go along. It may be a little bit lengthy, but you're going to see in this brief presentation that this is for everybody. This is for everybody, and it's something very important. Homes, apartments, churches, whatever. So I've got a roll here, and we're going to start a roll. If you will, with this slide, would you please use an overview? Give us an overview.
Yes. Thanks, John. And it's a pleasure to be sitting here with an old thought of the Navy just like myself. And ULOX is something that has been invented and manufactured here in Tennessee. And what we've done is we've looked at the hardware industry and the old way of the doorknob and the deadbolt being your primary lock. So what we've done is allow the deadbolt now to be adjacent with an ADA compliant handle set. And it can be used on any door, commercial, it can be used on apartments, it can be used in residential, utility environment. The pull allows you to just push and pull the door so that it opens and closes, which is very important not to have any wrist twisting or pushing down on the lever. It's just a push and pull, and we have them where they lock and we have them where they do not lock. They're great for storage facilities, bedrooms, any door that needs a U-lock on it to be opened and closed.
Errol, as you remember, I like to put everything on one piece of paper, and the next slide is yours that will help them better understand this. But the key, as I talked about earlier, you have a PDF slide presentation either in front of you in the email or you're at the storefront. And if you click on each one of these photos below, I would start maybe with bumping, or the overview was real good. So it'll give you a much better overview. I don't know if you want to say anything on this or go on to the next one.
Well, we could speak to this because you've got so much on it, and I understand why you've done that. You know, this product has a way of grabbing people because right now in the door barrier industry, there's only a doorknob and a lever. So the U-Lock is a very unique handmade product that does need a little explanation, but once people grab it and push a door open or pull it closed, or put it on a closet for locking up firearms, which is a great thing to do. We know the firearms are in the bedrooms and in closets. It's ADA compliant, and of course the bumping is a serious issue for the whole country.
Here's your summary that you did. So you better do a good job on this.
Well, I'll see if I can follow your lead there. Well, John, you know, U-Locks, like I say, we're replacing doorknobs and levers on any door. And if you have a standard door where you've got a deadbolt at the top and a doorknob or lever at the bottom, what we do is when we pull that doorknob or lever off, we put something in there. We seal that hole off, and then the handle of the U-Lock covers that hole. So you no longer will need a doorknob or lever because the handle is your grab. It replaces any standard doorknob or lever. It is a permanent product, which what we mean by that is doorknobs and levers have built-in obsolescence. So they are going to break, they're going to fail, and you're going to buy another one that's going to end up in the landfill. U-Locks are very strong, and they've got one thing to do, and that is to push and pull that door closed. We have commercial applications as well. As we move forward, the U-Locks can be put on closets. The U-Locks can be put on bedroom doors. The U-Locks can be put on walk-in closets as well. Front and back doors, attic doors, any door within your facility can have a U-Lock on it. Because of the built-in obsolescence of our competitors, U-Locks will save also in man hours if you have a commercial property where your maintenance men may be repairing these doorknobs, repairing these levers more than you may realize until you have the option of a product like this that is a more permanent product. So if we looked at as permanent product to your property, yearly door, it helps with your budget, slows or eliminates that turnover process, and even with the different locks that you can put on your properties, it gives you total control of your property. with the ADA compliance. We are very excited about working with New Horizons because that is a community we definitely want to serve and continue to serve. We know we have something that'll go on their properties, their homes, where they're living, or even for the people that are taking care of them. This makes that entering and exiting that door so much easier, so much easier.
Two quick things to mind looking at this. Would you agree, Aro, that there's probably so many businesses and organizations out there that aren't even complied with ADA, and this is just a simple way to get into compliance?
It's a very simple way, and just an ad to Vancouver, Canada, this year outlawed the doorknob.
Wow.
And they see that as a trend that's going to go across Canada. So the lever is your only option, but you have to push a lever down to get it to release that latch. We use a ball detent, so it allows you to just open and close the door, and the ball detent as a friction mechanism will keep the door closed. So absolutely, we feel like we've got a better mousetrap.
You don't have to get into the variations, but when I see safety, and I mean this sincerely, couldn't a variation of the U-lock perhaps saved a few lives in Columbine?
Well, absolutely, because what happened when you can't get behind a barrier? A door is considered a barrier, and right now on most of these barriers is a latch, a doorknob or a lever, and that can be breached by force. The deadbolt, we primarily use a deadbolt, and the deadbolt we know is the primary lock on most properties. This allows you to take any doorknob off a door, use that existing hole, and install the U-lock system with a deadbolt.
And this is one of your slides getting into which you've covered a little bit of the neighborhood ADA and safety. What do you mean by the neighborhood ADA?
Well, we look at our whole community with the ADA. We've got the elderly. You may have problems with your hands. We of course have disabled people in our communities that is grabbing that doorknob, turning that doorknob. People don't think about it, but it may be more cumbersome than you realize on yourself or on someone else. You don't have an option to change that. Even the lever could be more cumbersome than you realize. But once you install a U-lock system, then you realize how easy it is to just open and close that door. So we're wanting to be, of course, a part of our neighborhood to say where you need safety, we have you.
Let me take neighborhood another direction and see if I'm right. Okay. See if I'm learning from you. I live in a condominium, a residential condominium.
Mm-hmm.
We all own our condominiums, and it's quite old. And oddly enough, there's not many signs on the lawn that our condos are protected by alarm system, etc. Would this be a good example where every lock is the same, that someone could have a bumping key and get into every lock, and if we systematically changed, through the homeowners association or did it ourselves, that would at least deter someone from getting into the place even though we might not have an alarm?
Absolutely. As the U-lock system unfolds throughout the country, people will recognize that they're going to have an issue with this system because we're focused on bumping. We know bumping is that silent entry. You don't know a person's been into your property if they bumped the property because there was no forced entry. So as we swap out old hardware and put in anti-bumping hardware, you can absolutely know that the community is a bit safer. And putting U-locks on bedroom doors, going inside and putting a deadbolt where you wouldn't have put a deadbolt because you didn't want to drill that extra hole. Now, when you could replace that door, when you pull that out, there's your hole. Okay. So now you can you can create safe rooms inside your property.
Only because I've spent some time with you in the last couple of weeks, I think it's also important because you sort of inferred earlier that this is just great for new apartment complexes coming up, but tell me just briefly, without probably mentioning the apartment, how great this is for old apartments, and even I think you went beyond in fixing some of that's the 14 apartment complex.
Yeah.
Just be briefly, because I want to be sure people understand that this is a tremendous management tool for people, property managers that have existing properties.
Absolutely. We've got a great partner that gave us one of their older facilities, 80 units, and the doors, some of the doors, that they were non-standard doors. What I mean by the standard is where you have the deadbolt just so many inches above the doorknob, and it's a standard. You go to Lowe's or Home Depot, and those holes are already pre-cut. Well, our product is designed that it'll wrap around the deadbolt and it'll cover that bottom hole. They had deadbolts, the majority of them were, the deadbolts were 2 feet above the doorknob, 3 feet above the doorknob, a foot above the doorknob. So it was all over the place. So what we did was we put in our new deadbolts that allowed them to rekey the doors at their own leisure, giving them total control of the lock set. And we put door pulls, we put our pull system where the doorknobs were. So they were using dummy doorknobs, replacing them. And so now our pull became a fixed permanent product for them, and giving them access to the new deadbolt system allowed them to rekey the locks as they're trying to roll in and out of the property.
Oh, great! I'm glad I brought that up, Trevor. Having a little problem. Get to the next slide. Let's see here. There we go. And just briefly about churches, I think the major thing I've got out of this slide is that this is like something we don't know about, but what you're saying is explain soft target. You can do better than me.
Absolutely, churches are considered soft targets, and people will be surprised how much vandalism is happening at our churches. There's research on the internet that you can find out about that. And the soft target process of it is usually no one thinks like that but someone who is using the church as a soft target. Mm-hmm. So putting the anti-bumping locks on the churches, what we found is a lot of the church doors are neglected on the older churches. This gives us gives us an opportunity to shore up those doors, to bring certain things to the pastor's attention about their doors. Putting the deadbolt on the pastor's office usually it's the pastor's office, the finance office, the music office, the computer room. Once they understand this product, they realize they have all of this equipment and all this value inside the church that needs to be secured. And the U-lock system is just a simple way to replace that doorknob or lever that's on that door and allow you to have a secure room.
You look at the music room and a good flashlight, and at nighttime, no one's in there, and just going in and taking what's in that music room picture is a good example of it's not just the money and how easy is it to go ahead and pawn some of that. I mean, it's just unbelievable when you think about it.
Exactly. And sometimes you wouldn't want people to be as desperate as they are, but you just never know who's in the pew. The referral program, absolutely. We had been working on a referral program until I saw your referral program, John, and I think it is fantastic. And I want you to speak on that.
Well, let's I didn't know you were going to put the slide in on churches, so let's use churches as an example. The church's congregation is made up of business people, apartment owners, developers, contractors, other nonprofits, people that have the Derek Jeter type of home, that might need a lock on every door. And our concept is real easy with nonprofits. What we're going to do is use some of our products and ideas. So think of ULOC as a fundraising tool. And during the fundraising, of course, it will go directly to their supporters, and they'll have an opportunity to for donation, get a ULOC. But the nice part is they'll be able to go back to our online store, and their supporters, let's say it's XYZ Baptist Church, puts XYZ Baptist Church in, and now the supporters or a friend or someone in California wants to add a ULOC, or then what we're going to do is pay 10% back to the church for that purchase. And I'll use another example. Let's say it's a contractor that wants to that is in the congregation and ends up dealing with you. I won't know how to talk to them, but you, and they go ahead and maybe it's a new apartment, or old apartment, or whatever. We'll also give the church 10% back on the purchase there, because that's what a preferred ADA distributor is. New Horizons.
Absolutely.
Very briefly, this is sort of your vision, and it's sort of in the mix. But I think what you mean by there is one of our major goals is to do community sponsored donations to help a particular cause.
Yes, and of course with the disabled program, of course, working with New Horizons, we want to make sure that that community is serviced. The issues come up once this product is presented, then they tell you the different barriers that they're having problems with. So we want to take care of that particular customer base in that industry. The secure home is just that, to donate to anyone you may find. There's stories that come out of the community with our elderly, how our elderly is allowing their children to come home, and I've had some horror stories about that. And even my own mom, I put ULOCs on her bedroom because she was assisting someone in the family, and she wanted them to stay out of her bedroom. The domestic violence, of course, unfortunately, Tennessee, I think we were number one. I think we're number two now in the state for domestic violence. Domestic violence, what ULOCs do is allow you to place one on a bedroom or on a door somewhere in that property to turn that room into a little safer room for a cool-off period. If in certain states, if I think even here in Tennessee, if the law comes to your house, someone has to take a ride downtown for domestic violence. So the cool off, just to be able to cool off for a moment, to get behind the ULOC, throw that deadbolt, and allow that situation to die down. Gun owners, of course, we have the right to bear arms, and we also have the right to keep them safe. And we know that the firearms are kept in the closets, and we know firearms are kept in the bedrooms. So why not just place a U-lock on that door, lock those firearms away when you're not there, or even when you're there, if they're not needed at that time, to have that firearm locked away.
Well, pictures are, so to speak, are louder than words, and in the PDF file on the earlier slide as well as this one, if you will click on the gun safety lock above it, you'll see a very disturbing video why anyone that has a gun closet should consider a U-lock. A couple slides on summary.
Well, this is our basically U-locks will come in four different ways. The main U-lock system comes with a lock, everything you need to assemble it on the door that has a doorknob and a deadbolt on it, so that you can just replace the doorknob. The ball detent is going to go where the doorknob was, and it allows you to just make that front or back door a more safe and more secure door. We also come with a quick set control key system, which allows you to rekey that key at any time. Say residents leave, or someone that you just need to rekey that lock for whatever reason. U-locks also come in non-locking, and the non-locking are used for walk-in closets, for the second or third bedroom, or even the master bedroom if it doesn't need to lock. But it allows you to have just a pull on any door that just needs to go in and out of closet or whatever. We also sell just the kit for the system. Is say if you've already invested in a bunch of deadbolts, but you want the system, then you can just buy the handle kit with everything you will need that will accomplish your deadbolt system.
I guess very shortly, the quick set, which has the master key, that primarily you would think about businesses and commercial. Although I was kidding you earlier, Derek Jeter might want one on every one of his room. You don't know.
Yeah.
We'll also have applications and be a little bit different without the master key, but also will be for residential as well. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And if you want that now, when you're talking to us, that's available on a custom order.
That's exactly right. The Quick-Set, they've got a fantastic lock set that's also anti-bumping, anti-picking, and also rekeyable. But it comes in two. There's a commercial version and a residential version, and the commercial version has a master cylinder in that version where it allows that owner to keep control of all the properties that they place it on.
Just imagine there's one or two John Ericksons listening to this. Explain rekeyable.
Rekeyable is right now if you say you need a second key to a lock, or you want to change out a lock so that it does that key that was fitting it, you'd have to call a locksmith and have him to come out and reset the tumblers inside that lock. What the Quick-Set system does, it allows you to take the key that works with that lock at that time and reset that lock to a different Quick-Set key. It allows you don't have to change out the lock. It gives you total control. You don't have to take the lock off the door or anything like that. You're just able to reset that lock to a different key.
So if Derek has 30 entry doors to his house, he could have one key.
He could have absolutely one key with the master key system and with the master key system. But if he has just a regular one, then if someone leaves that property and he wants to say, okay, I got someone else who's going to be in there, they can change that key so that old key will not work and the new key will.
Okay, great. And just brief potpourri. These are some of your more popular. I'll call them colors.
Yeah, our finishes.
But on a custom basis, depending on the volume. I mean, if someone wants them all white or black or red, white, or blue, or the vols allow permission to have a logo on them. I don't know. I'm just kidding, but you could do about anything.
You're hitting the nail right on the head. Yes, the brushed steel, of course, is your popular. The polished chrome is our high end. The antique nickel, the antique brass, those are great sellers for homes. The polished brass is our high end as well. The satin nickel is a great seller, and then of course your iron grub for your nostalgia. But yes, we could put this in any finish that a customer needed if the numbers were there.
Oh, well, that's about it. I think this is lengthy. I apologize for the beginning people that are looking at this, but it's such an important issue, and to have a role here is really important to us. So I hope everyone enjoyed it and can see the wisdom of it. A couple key things. Again, in the PDF, you can hit these links, but if you want to go to www.nhcpif.com and you'll go to products, you'll come to a photo of the U-Lock, and this will tell you everything you need to know. As well as get the suggested retail pricing. And with us, we're including taxes and shipping. But on anything special in volume, or if we're dealing with fundraising or whatever, you really need to contact me on that. And again, if you want to, you see down in the left-hand corner for slides, www.tshvac.com/ULSlides.pdf. You can, if you don't have that in your email or you're just looking at, you can just get this whole presentation in PDF. And New Horizons Corp. If someone wants more information on who New Horizons is, if you already don't know, it gives you that as well. So thank you very much, Errol, and thank you for everyone that has listened to this.
Thank you, John.